Good evening, everyone. Right. So first of all, warm welcome to all of you for being part of integrated prelims cum mains course of Insight series. So as we had promised that we'll be having a session with myself and also other faculties going forward for all the IPM students. So the intention of having this Zoom session is to one thing is to ensure that all of you are on the right path. That because I know that all of you join these courses with high hopes, and also you will have certain expectations also from both yourself and from ourselves. So we would like to clarify certain things through these Zoom sessions, and more than anything else, based on our experience of directly interacting with hundreds of thousands of students who usually join these courses and then so am I clearly audible to everyone? Yeah. Yes. So most of you are saying yes, yes. Thank you. So I see lots of Josh in. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see the faces of two people, but I hope you'll be interacting in the chat box. Yeah, some of you are wishing happy Guru Purnima, and thank you so much for the wishes. Yeah, so coming to IPM, as you know, there are more than 50 mains tests and around 60 prelims tests. It is a unique program in the sense that we have combined both prelims and mains preparation through one timetable. And I'm a very staunch believer of integrated preparation for this examination. I believe that those who really want to excel in this examination, go for very high rank. So this program can really make a difference, provided you take care of certain things, which I will be talking about in this Zoom session. So firstly, why integrated preparation is the need of the hour? Why integrated preparation is the way forward? Integrated preparation, first let us define what is integrated preparation. There was a time that where we used to compartmentalize preparation as prelim specific, main specific, and then interview specific, optional specific. But times have changed. The demand of the UPSC exam has drastically changed, and it keeps changing every year. So right now, there is so much focus on the analytical abilities of individuals who are giving this examination. We should be evident. We should be evident in the answers you write, the way you tackle prelims questions, and also in the way you speak in the interview. So as part of IPM, we have integrated both prelims, mains in such a way that there is no ambiguity in what approach you need to follow for the examination. So we have conducted like 3 prelims tests so far, and there was one mains test. Can I just ask how many of you have written this mains test? Like how many of you who enrolled for IPM program, you can just maybe raise your hands. So how many of you wrote the exam? Very good. So I see these numbers rising like anything. Excellent. So you have taken a very good initiative, very good first step towards achieving success in this examination. I, as a mentor, as a teacher, what I see among students is that there is some kind of inhibition. They do join this program, but somehow they don't participate. They don't take the initiative to write this examination. They pay the fees, they pay the full fees. That initial decision, the Josh which is there, that I should be part of this program, I should study according to the timetable. Maybe we can customize also, then give the examination. Somehow the moment examination is nearing, it starts vanishing. I'll also talk about it, why it vanishes. Now, this integrated preparation is the way forward because it gives you the required confidence before the prelims. to crack the entire examination. That is number one intention. So it is designed in such a way that by April, you should be good in mains answer writing in all the departments, in ethics, in all the GS papers. It is not just about achieving, the quantity in terms of speed. Now again, mains is going on the mains test series. I see many people who are writing for the first time after prelims, struggling to answer, like 10, 12 questions in their first test. So I'm sure those who raised your hands, you might have answered, some of you like 8, some of you 10, some of you 12 answers in this first mains examination. So I think 12 to 13 is normal for everyone in the first test. So some 8, I can say 8 to 12 is the range, right? The same thing happens after prelims. Now, 1 year before your next year mains, you have taken this first step to give the examination and you have written 12 answers, right? So you are in a far good position compared to the people who come and write after the prelims. So this 8, 10, 12 will go on to increase 18 to 20 by April. So the quantity wise, you will also improve your answer rating, but also quality wise also. So quality wise in the sense that, again, to improve quality of your answer, you need to take care of 1 or 2 things in the course of the Zoom session. I'll talk about it, what you need to do about it. So this integrated preparation is called as integrated preparation because when you write hundreds of mains answers, now let's say like 50 tests are there, so 20 questions are there. So literally you are going to write 1000 plus answers, right? Or you are going to get exposed to 1000 plus answers through IPM for mains. Now these 1000 plus answers are going to cover literally most of the topics that are part of the prelims syllabus as well, the paper on syllabus. So from current affairs of national international importance to general science, whatever topic that is syllabus is there, through mains test we will be covering all prelims overlapping topics as well. So when you write answers to these topics which overlap with prelim syllabus, your understanding, your depth, and your knowledge, both factual and analytical component of that particular topic, will stay with you, will go on getting deepened because of 3 iterations that are there as part of the IPM. So that is why it is integrated in the sense that the CSAT is integrated, and through timetable, though you are writing main state and prelims test at a regular interval, writing most of the mains tests will help you score 110 plus in paper 1. This is like sure, like there is no other way to say it. But provided you write all the 50 tests, or even if you write like 30 tests, 40 tests, you will see that, let's say you have written like 30 tests by by March, February. If you are taking any mock tests, the open mock tests which we conduct, like step up test series, and others will also conduct, you will see that your marks in these open marks will always range between 90 to 110. If you write 30 to 40 IPM test, your marks in prelims paper 1 will range from 90 to 110, irrespective of where you're standing right now in terms of your preparation. So number 1, if somebody hasn't written the test so far, right? So take an initiative today, and from inside says, we would like to encourage you to write these exams, all the exams. You take an initiative to write the test. Now, why people don't write? One is inhibition, one is lack of preparation. Another one is you don't have material to go through, revise. You haven't made notes, and of course that laziness will also be there, right? So I think I hope I'm audible. Yeah. So suddenly my video went out. I don't know. Yeah, I think it is there. Yeah. So you take that initial step, break out of inhibition and write the test. So if you lack material, there is enough resources, and most of the times it is an excuse to stop yourself from writing the test. I have seen like because when I interact people, I'll be answering your questions lastly in the session. And also remember that as promised, once in 15 days, I'm going to conduct this session. I'll be talking about various aspects, and this will continue till the IPM course. It is not going to end with this session. So I'll answer all the questions. So uh, if you don't have resources, there is plenty of resources available in the internet, and you might also already having notes also. Now, don't chase the perfection. Perfection in terms of having better notes, perfection in terms of completing the syllabus before the test. Now, to approach these tests, there are like one or two ways, effective ways to prepare. For example, if the can somebody tell me what is the syllabus for the next test? Yeah. So modern India is your syllabus for the next mains test. Now, I'm sure everyone will have Spectrum or Bipin Chandra or any other ready-made notes for which you have made out of various sources. Now, how will you complete entire modern Indian syllabus, right, before the next test? So, in my opinion, instead of going with the textbook approach, that page one to last page, the best way is to first note down all the previous year questions from last 10 years from UPSC mains examination, right? So, and also other UPSC mains examination wherever modern history is part of the syllabus, right? So, from last 10 years, you note down all history questions first. So, that is one thing you have to do it. Second one, in the last 1 year, whatever modern history questions we have covered in the secure initiative, right? So you download all the compilations of last 1 year secure compilation. You can start with last year June compilations. So within that, whatever modern history questions that we have covered. The third one, you stick to one source. So never diversify. It can be just the NCERT books that you have read. I really mean it. It can be only NCERT source, not any Spectrum or anything. If that is the thing you have been following, or if somebody is following Spectrum, just stick to Spectrum. No, don't diversify. If somebody has read old NCERT, old NCERT for modern history, only that can be the source. If somebody has read Bipin Chandra or Placido Partition, it can be any one source. So that is the third source which you have been reading. So based on these two things, past 10-year questions and whatever we have covered in this CQ, only read those topics from these sources. And in the current affairs, which actually secure covers, if there was any remote news directly or indirectly linked to modern history, right? It can be bullions or notes or anything. It can be any one source, any coaching notes. Like you have been to Vajiram, you may be having notes given by them. You stick to that notes, vision notes, any notes, one source. So that is the most intelligent thing you will actually do. When you stick to one source, repeatedly read it. If you see, all the sources will cover the same events in different degrees, but the contents will be mostly similar, right? And then anything that is related to modern history, if it was there in the news, right, you can just Google in the Hindu, like in the history section of the Hindu, or in fact in secure and our current affairs we would have covered if there was any event, there was any anniversary. So those particular events related to modern history which was there in the last one or 2 year current affairs, you make short list of these topics, right? So make a list of these topics. The topic can amount to like 50-60 topics from these 3-4 sources. And before the next IPM test, one day before, you try to complete only these topics. It should be like topic wise approach, theme wise approach, not textbook wise approach. So complete all these topics as much as possible. And within that, you can also prioritize them, most important to least important, right? Yeah, if you're history optional student, definitely follow your history optional notes. You don't have to read any other sources, right? But ensure that when you write answers, it is not to the level of optional, slightly uh, in a diluted form, you should write, right? So only read those 50, 60 topics which you have made list. So it applies to next, society geography test. Uh, so what I'm saying is that you have to make a list of all these topics and read only these topics. Now, yeah. So you might think that I might miss something for the prelims because you are basically reading for the mains perspective, right? So now how will you complement that part? If you're missing something as part of the prelims preparation, so that part should be taken care by solving of daily MCQs. Now, when is your next IPM test? Sorry, I'm not updated. Oh, tomorrow itself. Okay, so it is impossible what I'm going to tell you. So let's say you can do, maybe you can take 5 days extra time to write the test. So what you need to do before that test, like if let's say if modern history test was scheduled after 6 7 days, during that course of the time to take care of the prelims aspect, solve every possible MCQ that is available from previous. Has my video stopped? Somebody has commented my video stopped. Yeah. So from every possible source of UPSC, you collect modern history questions. That is UPSC Civil Service Examination, UPSC NDA exam, CDS exam, CAPF exam, Indian Engineering Service, if at all they include one or two history questions, economic service, any objective test that UPSC has conducted, right? Not only UPSC Civil Services, from other examinations, collect history related, modern history related questions, and every day have a target of 30 to 40 questions, right? So every day 30 to 40 static questions from these sources, plus the other sources is insights static compilation of past 1 year. So we post daily 5 questions from Insights IAS, which is known as static quiz. So they are actually good questions, and we have given detailed solutions. See, it is like in the beginning, one day you collect all these MCQs, right? From next day onwards, you can go on solving. And in the market, you have like question banks. Somebody is asking question, isn't it time consuming to select these questions? So in the market, question banks are also available on Amazon. You can buy the question banks, right? So for civil services, it should be last 20-year question papers, UPSC ka. So other exams, it can be last 3 4 years also, but ensure that it is like minimum 20 years of last 20 years questions for UPSC from UPSC Civil Service Examination, right? So daily, irrespective of which modern history topic you are studying, it is desirable that it should be topic wise, but that need not be so. So start solving these MCQs on daily basis. So before every test, depending on the nature of the subject, you should have target of like say like 600 to 800 questions, or in some cases like quality economy, if the test is divided as 2 to 3 tests, 1000 to 1500 questions, right? So now when you are solving these quizzes, so you are mainly solving to supplement your mains preparation. So through that you are going to learn so many examples, so many facts, which can add which can act as value addition to your mains preparation for the IPM test. So whatever new thing you come across through these quizzes, especially through previous year questions, you note them down. Either they will act as your uh, example to your mains answer, or you will be you might face a question on them in the full and prelims mock which we conduct with every IPM test. So thereby doing this, your IPM prelims score will also jump. You will also notice that you will have enough content to answer, really come up with really good content in the mains answers. And in addition to these two, every day, the 20 current affairs question which we give, because every IPM test will have current affairs component also. right? So ensure that you get all the current affairs questions from inside IAS and compulsorily do them, right? If you are doing these three, in addition to, if somebody had watched my video recently about Mission 2023, Concord 2023, if somebody is weak, I have asked people to do one or two full length CSAT papers who know only. See, going forward as an IPM student, your aim should be to get a rank in this examination. It is not to just uh, clear prelims. If somebody is asking, how is your book? See, those question banks are good. Especially, I prefer my own economy, polity, and environment question banks. They are really good. So whenever you come across these topics as part of IPM, solve questions from those question banks. Those question banks also include last 20 years previous UPSC questions, right? So that is up to your choice, but it is desirable to do questions from various sources. Now, you are not only preparing to crack prelims. Crack means it is to crack the entire examination with a rank. So this discipline is important. Now, because of fear, people will not give the test. My suggestion is that even if you meet 50 to 60% of these targets, even if you meet 50 to 60% of these targets, go and take the test. Right. In the online live, what happens? You will tend to postpone the test because you feel like you can take it another day. Like after 5 days, I will postpone and I'll take the test. My sincere suggestion and recommendation, if you call, is that on the same day of the test, you go on giving the test. Now, you might miss two tests. Try to give tomorrow test with as much as knowledge that you have gained. But from next test onwards, try to give on the same day, right? So there is, of course, flexibility is there. But giving test on the same day, the two within 3 hours time. Now, what we see is that most of the people take extra time. They take half an hour extra, some cases 1 hour extra. In some cases, they write 10 answers today and 10 answers tomorrow. And, they try to, they want to write all 20 answers and get very good marks in the main test series. See, that is wrong approach. The reason is that your speed of writing will not improve at all if you take more time and write the tests. Now, when you're writing IPM test, all these main tests, you are trying to achieve two objectives. One is to achieve answering 20 questions within 3 hours. And secondly, to write quality answers as well. So writing 20 with average answers, you might get 80, 90 marks, right? But that is not going to serve anything. It should be writing quality answers. Your objective should be to score like 110 plus. So even if you write 15 answers, the mark should be around 90, right? If you write like 16 to 17 answers, it should be like around 100 answers, 100 marks. So focus on the quality in the beginning, right? So in the beginning, when you are writing the test, in these tests, sit for 3 hours, choose questions where you know answers really very well, and try to score 7 marks out of 15 and around 5 to 5.5 marks out of 10 marks. So that should be your objective. At least till next 15 tests. This is very important. At least next till 15 tests, just focus on the quality of the test, quality of your answers, not on the quantity. Now this quantity, if you keep giving every test in the stipulated time on the scheduled date, you will, without you realize, right, in a very smooth, natural way, you will start writing 18 to 19 answers by the time you are, in the month of January or February. Now, if you have achieved writing 18 to 19 answers by the month of March, that is a tremendous achievement. That is a tremendous growth, because after prelims, you will not have that inertia or fear, right? So you will start from like around 12 to 14 answers, and within 4-5 tests, you will pick up and you will be writing around 17 to 18 answers consistently. In the last leg of test, simulated test, you will be answering around 19 to 20 consistently, right? So now many people are asking about the word limit. Now, when you are answering these questions, what do I mean by quality? So quality is there should be thoughtful introduction, not a definition, a random fact, a random mention of current affairs, a random repetition of something from the question itself. There should be a thoughtful introduction. Every question starts with a thoughtful introduction. If I read your introduction, I should be able to judge that you are a thinking person. Now, what is thoughtful introduction? For example, uh, if somebody can just copy paste a question, maybe I can think about it. So, thoughtful introduction is something, the line, by reading that line in the introduction, I get to know that you know entire answers beforehand. You know the demand of the question and you know the structure of your answer. So, like, explain the importance of stupas. Somebody has, so many people also. Yeah, there is one full question here. Since the, yeah, let me read. Since the decade of the 1920s, yeah, just a second. Since the decade of the 1920s, the national movement acquired various ideological strands and thereby expanded its social base. Discuss. So, see, the question is a statement here. So, the person who has said the framed the question, he has given a statement. Since the decade of the 1920s, the national movement acquired various ideological strands and thereby expanded its social base. So, the question is saying, starting with 1920s, the Indian national movement, you know, acquired or imbibed, assimilated various ideological strands. So various ideological strands may be inspired by Western ideologies, the ideologies that were born within the Indian subcontinent, and then it actually expanded its social base. So it simply says that through ideological assimilation or expansion, it expanded its social base. So the thoughtful introduction is something which talks about diversity of India and how the diversity of India was able to contribute multiple ideologies and how that national movement was receptive to multiple ideologies, and through that how it widened its base, appeal to the masses across the sections of the society. So if you can condense this line, bringing the diversity aspect, bringing the value aspect of tolerance and receptiveness, and create one line, that becomes a very good introduction. Now, if somebody just says a line about uh, something about 90-20 event, or general line about what is national movement, or who only if we talk about only one ideological strand, so it becomes a very uh, not even introduction, it becomes a normal line where there is no thoughtfulness, right? So what do I mean by thoughtfulness in the introduction is that your analytical ability is evident in the introduction itself, right? So next, how you divide your answer for this question is, so I will briefly talk about why 1920s was a pivotal decade for Indian national movement. Since then, which are all the ideological strands, various ideological strands that became part of the Indian national movement, and how Indian national movement was able to acquire them, receive them, imbibe them. And then the weightage should be given more to the social base, how this process, this phenomenon widened the social base, right? Because the question is discuss. The discuss is at the apex of the directive words. So first comes, for example, like enumerate, explain, elucidate, comment, critically examine, analyze, critically analyze, and they discuss. So discuss is where you include all the parts of the discussion. So you write about little background, you write about the various dimensions of the topic in the question here, different ideological stands and how they affected various social bases and how it was done and with what effects, the consequences. So something like this, you cover 360-degree aspect of the issue within 250 or 150 words in the question. Now that is the quality answer where these arguments are substantiated with quality examples as well. Now this is one of the bigger problem in mains answer writing, that people end up writing very generalistic, vague, average, uh, you know, both arguments and examples, especially example. In most of the answers, it is either missing because you are in the race to complete the paper. If at all you write what comes to that mind, instantly. So very average, a very generalistic example. Now you have to come out of that attitude. So prepare in such a way, write in such a way that the answer, the justice is done to the demand of the question in such a way that you end up scoring 5 to 5.5 marks or 7 marks, because there is a balance between your analysis and your facts and with quality analysis. Now, don't try to write like 10, 15 points. Instead of 10, 15 points, try to write, like 6 or 8 points with quality content, right? Proper description, proper analysis. And if the question is like straightforward factual question, you don't have to do all these things. Now, out of 20 questions, what I'm talking about should be done maybe around 10 to 12 questions. If there is a factual question, the quality in terms of the specific demand of the question, right? So if somebody has posted a factual question, like role of women in Indian freedom struggle, it is not full factual. Yeah. So if it is a geography question, for example, so the quality here in terms of there is no analysis in geography. I mean, if it is a factual question, if it is a human geography question, there can be analysis in terms of industries, location, and all. So there should be diagram, there should be specific name of the location, the name of the places must always be there. In every page, ensure that there is minimum 1 to 2 diagram in every geography answer, right? Again, the diagram should be a value in itself, not like, for example, if the question is related to location of semiconductor industries, you cannot just write on India map showing only Hyderabad and Bangalore. That is waste of space and waste of uh, like time also. So in that Indian map, you should be showing instead maybe in terms of if the question has two dimension about uh, where the city is located and where the rare earth minerals or any other raw materials are available, you can create a diagram out of it, like in terms of linking that raw material and showing that the desirable location for that particular industry based on the raw materials available or something. So it should be illustrative, basically. What I'm trying to say, the diagram should be an illustration, not mere writing India map, showing that you can write India map and putting 1 or 2 dots and city names, right? So ensure that quality is priority in the initial tests. Now I said 15 tests. Like if quality becomes a habit, writing quality answer becomes a habit, because the problem of speed will be taken care by itself. It will be taken care by itself, and I promise you that if you write all the tests. Now you will end up writing only quality answers in your papers, right? That is like scoring 420, 430 plus in mains. If the focus is like this, right? But unfortunately, many people want to complete the answer and the quality will never improve. Again, quality is proportionate to how specifically, how focused your preparation for the exam. Now, out of 20 questions, if you try to prepare for all 20 questions, trying to cover each and every source, then again, you will end up diluting everything. So my suggestion, because there are like 3 rounds, if you miss something in this round, the second round, you can actually cover them. So don't feel like, you are leaving certain things or something. That is why I said prioritize. The most important stuff you read now, and when the next round comes, whatever things you miss out right now, we can cover them then. Right. So these are the basic things. And you know that if you write all IPM test, you will get I will test series for free. It is as an incentive that we have done to you people, so that you are motivated to write all the IPM tests. Now, If you write all IPM test, you are already a topper, in my opinion. Again, provided you take care of optional and CSAT. Now, trying to do well in IPM, don't compromise your optional subject. So, my sincere suggestion is that if your optional coaching is complete, or through self-study, if you have completed optional, if you have already made notes for optional, it is better to start a parallel test series for optional right now, right? Or maybe after one or two writing after one or two IPM mains test, maybe you can join them. But ensure that by October, you write one optional test as well. So this is to ensure that your confidence is equally good in optional and equally good in GS papers. Because once this confidence comes, this confidence has a direct effect in prelims. Now, knowing that you are well prepared, it actually boosts your confidence in prelims. The prelims, sometimes it's a game of confidence as well, not just the knowledge and skills, right? So anything that helps boost your confidence, you have to do that. Regarding CSAT, don't ignore. I have seen people scoring 110, dropping to 80s and 70s, scoring 90s, dropping to 70s. So you may be good, but keep solving at least one paper. I think IPM will have around 16 to 18 full-length CSAT paper. Last year it was around 10, I think. This year we have increased CSAT tests as part of IPM. So give all CSAT tests in a time-bound manner. In addition to our CSAT test, you should also have target of another like 20 full-length CSAT papers before next year prelims, right? So these are the major things I wanted to talk about. Now, don't waste your time making new notes, trying to make new notes. Instead, every day try to use the existing resources, further improve your skills. For example, in the test, if you find it difficult to structure your answer, if you find it difficult to present it well, what you can do on daily basis, you can take 2 to 3 secure answers, and there you can do that thinking part, how to like if you're facing problem with respect to writing introduction, you pick up some 3 4 questions and write only introduction every day. So you can choose introduction, the lines which I talked about. Such thoughtful lines are available in your NCERT textbooks, in editorials, in standard Bipin Chandra kind of books. So from there you pick up sentences for every topic. Can you pick up a thoughtful line, analytical line that can act as introduction? So try to write better introduction, because people face problem in writing better introductions. So you pause a lot. If you cannot write any introduction, you write a random line and then you move to another part of the question. So don't do that. If you're finding it difficult to understand the demand of the question and create a structure, so then pick up 3 4 questions and just write the skeleton part, that what are the different parts of the question and which part of the question should have how many points, only that part, right? So that to improve speed further, to improve quality, so this day-to-day practice, helps in that regard, so that you eliminate any thinking time that is there in the examination hall, any unnecessary time you're spending, so all of that can be eliminated. If somebody is writing, like taking more time for first answer, usually that happens in your first or second test, that first answer you will, you take 15 minutes, 20 minutes to write, and then eventually it will affect the flow in the entire paper. So my suggestion, you can, before writing the actual test, you can write 1 or 2 answers half an hour before the exam, right? So, and then you go and write the exam. I think by then you would have adjusted to, or would have broken that inertia, and you would do well in the test. You won't consume much time in the first answer. Another thing is, you find any offline center to write these exams. It can be a public library, it can be any classroom available near your home, or any coaching institution. You take your question paper, your answer booklet, go there, sit for 3 hours, write it there, and then upload it and submit for the evaluation. So with respect to evaluation, we have evolved our standards and we'll keep evolving. So we have planned to give every copy within 7 days. So now and then it might uh, happen that 1 or 2 days extra can be taken, but largely within 7 days, we would like to give you copies. Now, there is a Telegram channel and also there is support system. We are increasing resources for quickly addressing any IPM related queries. So we are aware of certain shortcomings. For that, we are allocating resources. So your any queries can be immediately answered. And we as an institution, we don't want to just launch a program and then leave it to your self, like you do whatever with the program. So we want to guide you. We want to direct you in the right direction so that you make use of the program and give us more ranks, which means you become toppers. So this will continue throughout the journey, and even after prelims also this will continue. And I want more number of people to write all the tests and take free I will tests, which will again be a game changer after prelims, right? So these are the important things I wanted to talk about in today's Zoom session. So I'll just pick up some random questions. Okay, I'll answer them in 10-20 minutes, and then again after 15 days we can meet again. So for YLM, that option is not there. If you write all YLM, there is no free I will, because we are charging a bit more for IPM. We are giving that incentive. There are so many questions. Maybe what I will do is that we will collect all these questions, right? Make a like fact frequently asked question kind of stuff, and maybe within 5-6 days we will answer all these questions and mail you all of them. Yeah, if you're in Delhi, you can go and write offline test in our Delhi center. If you're in Hyderabad, you can do it. If you're in Lucknow, you can do it. If you're in Jammu Kashmir, please go to Kashmir center. It is always open, so you can go and do it. And if you're in Bangalore, you can do it. Right. So now many people are asking this question, like how to make use of the secure initiative. As I said, my suggestion is that to one thing I was talking about, to write better introduction, to structure better, you have to practice. But if you are at that level where every notes is ready, all you need is intensive practice. So try to pick up at least 2 questions, maximum 3, minimum 2 questions. One is static, related to that week's syllabus, modern India. One is current affairs, mostly from paper 3, right? So that your base of economy, environment, S&T, because which is bit ignored compared to history, polity, geography. Most of the people are well aware, but for some reasons, S&T, environment, security issue, and economy keep ignoring people. So you pick up one question from that and try to write 2 answers every day. If somebody hasn't written any answer, if you're new to writing answers, first 10 to 15 days, first look at the synopsis and then try to write answers. So instead of you doing all the research, with respect to collecting material and then writing answer, first you read the synopsis, maybe after 1 or 2 days, you try to write your answers. So in that way, continue to take up, by your own 1 or 2 questions, read original editorial and write the answer. Right. And also there is mentorship available as part of IPM. So if you're in Bangalore, I keep coming to Delhi. So if you're around the institution, whenever I come, you can come up with your essays. In Bangalore also, you can do the same. Right. You're not discriminated. You can come with your essays and you can show to me. So it is better to make notes out of daily MCQ. Somebody asked the question. Whichever new question you come across, you should definitely make. So somebody is asking how to do so many things, like CSAT, MCQs, this and that. See, it is all about willpower. I can only talk motivational stuff. People have done that. People can do that, but I'm aware that you cannot do 100%. As I said, even if you achieve 60% of these targets, right? So it is like we want to become $5 trillion economy, but we know how much we can achieve. But that goal is needed, ambitious goal. So even if you do 60%, you are far better person than who you were yesterday. So this some people are asking how to contact mentors for online users. So we are planning to integrate WhatsApp also, so that it is easy to directly contact them. So that we can take care of it. Okay, that is not an issue. But we see that most of the people are not booking your mentors. The mentors are saying that my slots are not fully booked. Uh, I don't. It is not a technical problem. It is just that most of you are not willing to talk to mentors. So make use of them. All of them are qualified, well trained, and so we are all student friendly. We never insult anyone. We never humiliate anyone. We always encourage you to do well. Right. So contacting mentors is available in your portal. Right. So in Hyderabad center, we have 2 mentors. In Delhi center, we have 2 mentors. You can go and talk to them. So I think that's it. So wish you all the best. I hope you will go on to write all the tests and really do well in this examination. See you after 15 days. Thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation and happy Guru Purnima to everyone.